What makes power? Money? Influence? Or something else? From the richest men on Earth to social media creators, here are 10 of the most powerful people on Earth. Kinda scary when you think about it. Number 10. Carlos Slim. Who is Carlos Slim? Just Mexico's richest man, business magnate, investor, and philanthropist. In fact, his net worth makes up about 6% of Mexico's entire worth, accounting for 40% of the country's stocks. He was also the richest man in the world for a time. His business ethics started early in life, when he invested in a government savings bond at age 11. That was when his career really began. He documented his investments into a ledger book, and at age 12, he made his first stock purchase. As a teen, he went to study civil engineering at the National Autonomous University of Mexico. There, he taught algebra and linear programming. He was obviously born for success and power. Carlos Slim is one of 8 people whose combined wealth equals that of the 3.6 billion people who make up the poorest half of humanity. And he doesn't just have money. He owns a lot of shares that could damage the economy in Mexico if dropped. But in reality, many say that if there is one country where money will buy you power, it's Mexico. So being the richest man in the country really does make him more powerful than the Mexican president, or any other politician for that matter. He is often criticized for being the head of a powerful elite, keeping the poor down and preserving the system of inequality. I mean, do you really want to be that guy? I guess if you're swimming in billions, you don't really care. Number 9. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is the second richest person in the world, with tens of billions of dollars. For those of you who don't know it, Bill Gates is the founder and owner of Microsoft, the company responsible for Windows and Xbox. Even LinkedIn, Skype, and more are under the same banner. These companies alone are enough to give the owner of them nearly limitless power. How? Well, what would happen if every Microsoft app, site, or product were shut down simultaneously? The world as we know it just might end. With a net worth of $106.5 billion, the co-founder of Microsoft has spent years pouring money into the charity that he runs with his wife. While he was number 1 for a long time, it looks like Jeff Bezos is now the richest. However, nearly every person in the world uses a Microsoft product on a daily basis. It may be your PC or your operating system, your tablet, or your social media account, even your Xbox. It's amazing how many careers Microsoft has given us, or at least helps us achieve. Not just direct employees, but those who play Xbox games for a living, those who manage LinkedIn, those who are found on LinkedIn. Actually, the careers are nearly endless. But not just that. After all, the whole world would go into a deep depression if all of a sudden they couldn't use their PC or computer or gaming system. Many of them wouldn't even be able to work. But how does Bill Gates manage his wealth? He still has a 1% stake in Microsoft, worth $7 billion. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation holds over $40 billion in assets, and he owns 47% of the Four Seasons hotel chain, and has a stake in Berkshire Hathaway Group, which is owned by Warren Buffett. I could go on, but I think you get it. When someone this successful talks, people listen. Number 8. Vladimir Putin. Technically speaking, Vladimir Putin is the world's most powerful person. The Russian president is indeed more powerful than the American president and the richest man in the world. But how? And why? There are 2 big reasons for this. Russia is a big, powerful country, and Vladimir Putin has a lot of power over it, more so than Donald Trump does in America. Many believe that he has too much power over Russia, which could result in a catastrophe. Since the laws in Russia are different, the president actually technically has more power in that country, because it's less democratic and more tyrannical. Of course, everything is a scale, but when one person can basically do whatever they want without having to have transparency or freedom of the press, balance of powers, etc., you pretty much have free reign. In America, there's what's called power of the people. This isn't as strong as it once was, but it sure is stronger than the absence of Russia's power of the people. Another is no one knows what will happen when Putin dies. This fact is scary, and it lets us know how much Russia relies on him. Over the years, a fall of the monarchy and democracy has taken place. This put Russia's political system through the grinder. Then there was World War II, that killed millions upon millions of Russians, and Stalin's horrendous activity. It's all a lot to take in. That's why Vladimir Putin was so trusted. After everything they'd been through, he really was a breath of fresh air. He immediately gained respect from citizens and other countries. Respect and power, as he freely governs the largest country in the world. Number 7. Pope Francis. Pope Francis is no doubt the most powerful religious leader in the world. He is known as one of the most well-rounded and modern popes in history. He's recently shown his lack of prejudice against anyone, even women, as he admires and tips his hat to women who may be more powerful than him, as well as those who are most definitely not. It seems that he's trying to bring modern ideas into the church. His power is known as papal supremacy, and it's defined as the doctrine of the Roman Catholic Church, and this position was even above kings and queens in the past, as his word and the church was from God. And who's going to argue with that? This makes him the official alpha, all-powerful pastor of the Christian church. Nearly every Catholic in the world looks up to him as having full reign of religious activities. With more than 1 billion Catholics worldwide, you can see how powerful the Pope could be if he so chose. So, above all, he has tons of influence, more than legal power. Number 6. Angela Merkel. Angela Merkel is the most powerful woman in the world. Yes, even more powerful than Oprah Winfrey. Who is she? Just the German chancellor who was good friends with President Obama. In fact, after he stepped down, he set it up with Merkel to watch over the free world, quote unquote, while he was gone. She is known as the popular, kind, smart, soft-spoken former scientist who was elected to 3 terms. She believes in kindness and freedom, and isn't afraid to stand up for it. For this reason, both Putin and Trump have made an enemy out of her. Many say they're afraid of women in power, but the Pope, on the other hand, respects her greatly. She's most likely one of the smartest people in the world, and yet remains grounded, not letting this power get to her. She still has a good relationship with her husband, cares for her family, and does everyday tasks on her own. She's a debated leader and is often the target for Republic attackers, but considering she's been re-elected multiple times, it looks like Germany has no problem with her as a leader. Number 5. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has been under a lot of scrutiny in recent years, but as the owner of the biggest retail company in the world, Amazon, there's bound to be a few haters out there. He's even beat out Bill Gates and become the richest man on the planet. What's really interesting is that as a child, he wasn't rich. He even worked on his grandpa's farm in Texas during the summer. He grew up relatively normal, with a stepfather who eventually adopted him. As a child, his mother claims that he was very mechanically intelligent, taking apart his crib with a screwdriver. Nowadays, he's worth around $146.9 billion, give or take $10 billion that he lost recently, and he is the main provider of the world's shopping network. He also owns part of Uber as one of its first investors, cloud services, and the Washington Post. He was even one of the first investors in Google, and he's giving Elon Musk a run for his money. Anyone who can lose $2 billion in 1 week and still be stable is rich beyond most of our imaginations. He holds half of the commerce market in the United States alone, and now people are worried that he might be just a little too powerful. He's estimated to become the first trillionaire by 2026. Amazon is almost like its own government, so while money doesn't necessarily equal power, he is involved in a lot of committees, and people ask him for advice in the highest levels of government. Oh yeah, plus the cameo in 2016's Star Trek Beyond did nothing but make him even more influential than before. How powerful do you think Jeff Bezos is? What about Amazon? Let us know in the comments below. Number 4. Xi Jinping. Chinese President Xi Jinping is considered the core of the Chinese Communist Party. In turn, he's the core of China as far as power goes. He is the leader of the entire country. Since China is still communist, this means that he isn't part of the law, he is the law. Whatever he wills will be done. For most countries, being president or prime minister or governor means a lot, but in China, it means everything. Thankfully, he's well-liked and supposedly very honest. In his whole life before becoming president, it said he didn't make one enemy, although that's kind of hard to believe, right? He is said to be kind and want the best for his country and for the world. The outside world doesn't know much about him, although with the coronavirus epidemic of 2020, you can bet that he has come under some major scrutiny, and now actually people want to know a lot more about him. Like, why is he taking away journalist visas and shutting down the free press? But they also don't know how much power he actually has. China has a population of about 1.3 billion people, so in short, Xi has about the same amount of power that Vladimir Putin has. He has the power to shut down criticism and keep the population under control with all kinds of state tools. Scary? Yeah. Powerful? Absolutely. Number 3. Donald J. Trump. The President of the United States of America is always in the top 3 most powerful people on Earth. Forbes magazine has Donald Trump at number 3, naming him the first billionaire president of the United States when he arrived on the scene in 2017. He could be more powerful than former presidents for a variety of reasons. 1, he has made a personal alliance with Vladimir Putin. 2, he's richer than any other president in history. Oh yeah, and another thing. Most presidents won't act on irrational thoughts or start anything without reason. But Donald Trump has quite the reputation for doing whatever the heck he wants without being afraid of what people think of him, for good and for bad. He feels he has more personal power, whereas most presidents, like Barack Obama, felt more like they were representing the citizens of the United States. It seems ironic, but him breaking so many alliances and antagonizing other countries makes him more powerful. But how? Because war is powerful. Anyone with the ability and desire to start a war has the ability to destroy the world. Plus, he has an innate ability to manipulate and convince others of his sincerity. After all, he was a master at reality shows. In January of 2020, an article published by Andrew Carleen on WBUR.org says that Donald Trump has never been more powerful. Quote, Trump has made plain that he sees no distinction between the national interest and his own. He treats the Attorney General as his own personal attorney, sacks individuals he views as insufficiently loyal to him personally, and responds to political criticism with accusations of treason. You may or may not agree with this, and that's okay, but you have to admit he is pretty powerful just with his personality, let alone being the president of the US. End quote. Number 2. Mark Zuckerberg. You probably knew this was coming. He's the top billionaire under 30, or at least he was. Now he's past 30, so we'll have to call him the top under 40 for a while. Still, he's the youngest powerful human on the planet. But why? Who is he? Yeah, millennials, I know you know. He created Facebook, making Tom from MySpace look a bit like a loser. Do you use Facebook? Is it your life source? How many times a day do you use it? How long? Is it your sole use of contacting friends and families and seeing world news? Don't worry, you're not alone. It's a social network used by almost everyone. Facebook is probably one of the fastest growing and still growing networks on the planet, making it the most powerful. And it's all thanks to one man, Mark Zuckerberg. Not to mention he owns Messenger and Instagram. And for those who use WhatsApp, it's owned by Facebook too. He's been criticized recently for influencing entire elections in the United States due to ads and influencing the way that people think. Facebook can help you grow your brand, build a business, and show you things you want to see based on your info, your search history, demographics. They know everything. But hey, so does Google, Amazon, you name it. So yeah, hope you don't have anything to hide. Number 1. Larry Page. What's the most used site on the internet? Facebook? Nope. Amazon? Close. The answer is the way a lot of people get to those sites. What is it? Google. But who owns Google? The most well-known co-founder is Larry Page, Google's CEO. His rising company gives him the ability to do pretty much whatever he wants. If there is one company that is rising faster than any other, it's Google, who now has one of the most profitable sub-companies in the world, Google AdWords. How come Google is so powerful? Well, it controls the internet. Everyone uses it. Everyone. Not very many websites can say that. But what does the controller of Google do with those profits? For one, it spends $12 billion on Motorola at a whack, creates new projects like Google Glass, and donates to charity and other foundations in need. Google and its founders are doing all kinds of experiments for the future that we don't even know about, like turning us into robots when we die or something. But even with all this money, isn't it the ability to do whatever he wants with Google and therefore the world a pretty powerful thing? And that's why Larry Page is number 1 on our list. Thanks for watching this episode. Did you like the video? Tell us what you think in the comments below, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.